New at 6 o'clock, Hannibal schools are right back in the spotlight after question marks have been raised about the district's elementary schools.
The district has a heavy population difference in their elementary schools, which has caused debate on the Hannibal School Board to solve the problem. WGEM's Zeke Shapiro is live in Hannibal now to discuss what the solution might be. Zeke?
Well, it's no doubt that it has been a rough year for Hannibal schools financially, but now redistricting is the topic of conversation. Next week, there will be a vote at the Hannibal School Board meeting to decide what to do about the differences in elementary school sizes. The two options will be to keep all 5 schools and even out the populations through student transfers, while the other option will be consolidation, wherein Eugene Field Elementary completely closes and all of their students would move to different district elementary schools.
Even driving around our community and in the area, the neighborhoods around Eugene Field, there's fewer places to live. You know, some of the homes are no longer there. Changes have happened.
Superintendent Johnson added that some of the factors leading to the decline in school population are families moving and ulterior education methods popping up after COVID, such as homeschooling. Now, another thing that Superintendent Johnson explained to me is a factor in why the Eugene Field School might close would be its age. It's about 100 years, although she said that it is still in good condition. Live in Hannibal, Zeke Shapiro, WGEM News.
Thank you, Zeke. And Johnson also stressed that no matter what the decision is next week, she hopes to retain all of the staff from every school.